know, anybody who's thinking about voting for Trump, you've got to stage an intervention. Do everything you can to try to convince that person that they surely care about something that Donald Trump is on the wrong side of, because I can guarantee you they do. Because after all, friends don't let friends vote for Trump.
Hillary Clinton is not the victim, by the way. She's not the victim. You, the American people, are the victims of this corrupt system in every way. And this is your last chance to change it. I really believe this. This is your last election where you're going to have a chance.
All right, our political insiders, our Republican at the table is nodding. You're liking what you're hearing. Let's bring in our Fox News political insiders. John LeBoutelier, a former field director for President Ford in the 1976 campaign, who also held office as a Republican congressman here for New York. Pat Goodell in the middle, strategic advisor to President Jimmy Carter and a Fox News contributor. And Doug Schoen, former strategic advisor to President Bill Clinton, 6 years in the White House doing that job. He's now a Fox News contributor. John, I have not seen you this gleeful. Oh, I don't know, since you got your 8th cat.
Well, I've been so frustrated sitting here with you every week watching the ineptitude of the Trump campaign in a year where it's so easy for a Republican to beat this Hillary Clinton candidacy. And they haven't ever done the right thing. Now, we just saw that, the four of us, for the first time. And there was a little glimpse there of the political insiders' overarching message, which is frame the campaign in a big way, change versus the corrupt status quo. And he did it maybe for the first time.
Well, and, you know, Carl Cameron's on the campaign trail with him, with their campaign, and he's saying he's much more disciplined on message. It's a lot easier to do that, as Carl pointed out, when you have an FBI director who's just handed down a letter that puts your opponent under a second investigation in just a matter of months. And so I want to get your focus now.
Yeah.
Just put you in the tractor beam. What is your reaction to the FBI reopening its case?
As you know, I have been a supporter of Secretary Clinton.
We all know, yes.
Right, you do know. But, and the but is a big deal, at least to me. Given that this investigation is going to go on for many months after the election.
No matter who wins.
No matter who wins. But if the Secretary of State wins, we will have a president under criminal investigation, with Huma Abedin under investigation, the Secretary of State, the President-elect, should she win, under investigation, Harris. Under these circumstances, I am actively reassessing my support. I'm not a Trump...
Whoa, wait a minute.
Right.
You're not going to vote for Hillary Clinton?
Harris, I'm deeply concerned that we will have a constitutional crisis if she's elected.
Wow.
I want to learn more this week, see what we see. But as of today, I am not a supporter of the Secretary of State for the nation's highest office.
How long have you known the Clintons, Doug?
I've known the Clintons since '94.
Wow.
That's all right. I've known them since '72.
But their friend here has said that he's reconsidering.
I have to, because of the impact on the governance of the country and our international situation.
All right. So the news in that is, are there other people, I would imagine, like Doug Schoen?
Look, I think we're facing, this is the biggest October surprise. And despite the media, we've had others. Ted Stevens being indicted illicitly, it turns out, by the Justice Department right before the 2008 election. The same Lawrence Walsh did to George Bush, indicting Weinberger on purpose the weekend before the election to influence it. But this is Comey doing something that I think he had to do. We are facing a real question, and Doug's right, and I admire his integrity on this, and I think other Americans are asking the same thing. Do we have a problem if Hillary Clinton is elected president? We saw, I lived through Watergate. I lived through seeing in 1972, there were no legal things that came out before the election. Nixon gets elected. His presidency and the country are consumed with Watergate. He is forced to leave office. And the president, he gets actually impeached by the House. We have a crisis. This is advanced. If she is elected, we will go through this. And people have to ask themselves now, this is a big deal. It is, the question is whether we're going to allow that to happen and be consumed. And I think it was already a closing. I think this has impact for people.
When you say closing, you mean the race
Trump, yes, but we'll get to that. But this is a bigger question about the country.
Well, watching every show every day, which I do to get ready for us. I don't see this argument, Harris, being made anywhere else other than right now.
Well, I'm shocked to hear what Doug is saying.
Okay, but what needs to be framed up in the last 8 days, Trump has to be the one now to go to the country and say, in all honesty, here's what we're facing. If she wins, we're going to have the following things. We're going to have the House of Representatives investigating this Justice Department. The FBI investigation is going to be investigated. The president-elect will be investigated. There will be complete gridlock, mayhem.
The FBI will be investigated.
Well, yeah, because Harry Reid wants the director, James Comey, looked at for possibly being a criminal, he says, for breaking the rules.
So you want a dysfunctional Washington? You're going to get it even more.
You mean more than what we have now?
Right. And
all right.
But here's the real thing that's going to come up this week, and again, it hasn't been thought of. The question is going to resolve itself. And look, everybody is implicated in all of this scandal stuff about the foundation, the work of the FBI, the Justice Department, the State Department, all of these things. It's not about emails. Emails are like a postage stamp. But we know now there are serious problems because no one knew these emails and all the defense agreements, like Legos, set of Legos, the lawyers had worked out all the answers. Now we have something else. And we have Hillary Clinton's closest aide who has admitted that she's got
to get rid of Huma Abedin.
No, she admitted under oath.
Yeah, but I mean,
swore under oath that she
made this argument, and it was Donald Trump who said the proximity of Anthony Weiner to the emails of Hillary Clinton through her confidant Huma Abedin shows she has bad judgment. I'm paraphrasing him.
If
I'm
there
not
are
putting
secure
as strongly
emails
as he did,
on that computer,
but how could he see it but nobody else could see it?
Well, he did. But this is a larger question than about Anthony Weiner. It's about the governance of our country. We're in an international and domestic crisis. The real question is, can we function as a democracy? Vladimir Putin said we're a banana republic in the last couple of days. He's trying to influence our election. We can't operate like this.
Look, we've got to know an answer to two questions. Will the president guarantee the country that he is not going to pardon Hillary Clinton if she is elected and therefore short-circuit the legal processes due?
So you want to hear from him
And I want to hear from Hillary Clinton needs to say whether she will pardon herself. We need to know whether the...
When do we need to hear it?
Before the election. We need to hear it now. No one is asking these questions as far as I know. Just like Doug said, no one's facing the question of what this means. I think it needs to be raised. I am not in a position...
There's only one person who can raise it.
So you want President Obama, separately from Hillary Clinton, to say, I'm not going to pardon her.
If she's elected, because if he does...
And you want her to say, I won't pardon myself.
There's only one person who can ask this question and get it injected right now in the political system. That's Donald Trump.
And it has to be asked in a way that is not nasty.
Right. So
I want to put up something as we go to commercial break. It shows, this is an ABC News poll showing 34% of surveys, or rather people surveyed in this, are less likely to vote for Hillary Clinton.
That's a big deal.
That's a huge deal.
Why is that a big deal?
Because the independents, who are many of the swing voters, are going to be even higher on the less likely. And the race is now down to 1 point in their poll. And if that movement continues, given this bad news for the secretary, it means we're in effectively a deadlock race, or worse, with the momentum for Donald Trump.
We got something else that maybe we want to do it after the break, which is not in the analogy.
Well, tease it up, John.
Early voting?
Oh, we're going to talk about
all these people
Did you
who
know
already
that there are some states that if you already voted, you can change your vote?